Alright, I'm just going to tack this on at the beginning of this episode, or this little behind-the-scenes extra video that you're going to get here. This video is very important. If you want to watch through it, go ahead. It's a bit long, but this is for you to decide if you want to vote for what you want to see in episode 60. So that is either going to be a 50-plus car drag race shootout, where I get every vehicle in the fleet running. I will make it happen if you want to see it. I will get every single vehicle in the fleet running at once. If you want to see a more simple episode with 8 or 9 vehicles from Season 6, then you can vote for that. There is a straw poll in the description. This is going to be up for a few months. We got 5 months until June, where episode 60 goes live. It might have to even be a 2-part or 3-part episode. So, if you want to see this, go vote, as long as the link is in the description. And if you're late to the video, go vote. If not, if you want to watch through and see all the vehicles we still have in the fleet, this isn't a complete list, but if you want to go and see what we still have, go right ahead. So, go enjoy. Alright, everybody, it is decision-making time. You know, it's 2021, beginning of a new year, and I have gone through and I have figured out what vehicles we still have in the fleet. Now, this isn't an exact number of everything that we still have. This is nowhere near an exact number. This is 48 cars, and this isn't counting all the Jeeps that Sean has. There's a few other vehicles that I'm missing from this, which I'm going to go through. But, yeah. This is going to be a big video. Watch it. Watch till the end. Check in the description, because everyone that I know is going to get the pick what episode 60 is going to be. I know episode 50 was a big episode. 50 episodes. I've done this for 6-7 years now. Like, some of these cars I made while I was like a junior in high school. So you're going to see a lot of vehicles in this list. Of course, there are many fan favorites that have had to go over the years. So you're not going to see every car on here, but this is everything that we still have in the fleet, whether it runs and drives. Of course, the Regency, it runs. All it needs is tires. It's still broken from the summer update. The Rotson, it's in great shape. And I actually just saw a story of the Rotson going to a Roadkill shootout, the real one, not my knockoff one. But, yeah, but it doesn't need anything yet. We never know. The i5 street car, that's the red 200BX that I built last year. It is an inline 5 with a turbo. The mod, I'm waiting for an update if it ever does get an update, because the windshield and the rear window is missing. Same thing with the blue BX, the Pro Mod car with the big, like 295s in the back. It does run. I do need a mod update. It's made by the same mod developer. So it has the same issue, missing glass. But outside of that, it still needs a lot of tuning done to it, and it needs a body kit still. It's still bare without a body kit. The Tow ETK 800, that is a leftover car from way back in episode 4 that we still have. I originally did an episode that never made it to YouTube, where I put a V10 in it with a diesel V10 with like 10 hater pipes out the hood and everything, and the episode never made the cut. But yeah, it needs a motor, it needs a headlight since I did hit something. Brakes, they're old as hell. And the car is supposed to be an all-wheel drive car, but all rest with rear-wheel drive. And as you'll see, there's going to be a lot of optionals on this list, because what I'm going to explain at the end here is pretty big. The Satsuma, you have yet to see that. If you've watched the My Summer Car videos, if not, go watch them. There's a big episode coming up for this year. I'm not going to unveil many plans here, but as you can see, you can read through this if you want to. The lifted Barstow, that's the orange Barstow that I built in episode 54. It runs. It doesn't need anything as of right now. It might need a little bit of work here and there, but I have no plans to really do anything with it, but it's still around. It's still got like that 510 cubic inch V8, so it's pretty good. The Restarsto, good old reliable, the car that we built in episode 2. It still runs, doesn't need anything. The OG Barstow, this is the first or second car that I built for Roadkill before I started to record it, and over the years it has transformed into more of a fully built drag car. It was supposed to be at the Roadkill live event that we did with the 12-hour with the Emu's 12 hours of live Christmas live stream. It was supposed to be there, but drag racing or time trials are currently broken in BeamNG. I'm waiting for an update to fix that, so then we can kind of do some cars versus cars drag racing again. But it runs. It runs, but it needs a tune. It needs front brakes redone, and the hood is very optional. But it's got a 458 cubic inch V8 with 2 turbos on it. It needs a lot of tuning. The Dominator, that's the car that just literally went up the day that I'm recording this, which is January 6th. So, yeah, it recently just got a Dominator 400. The same engine as the OG, just it has 1 turbo. It does need some work for it to be a better car, but a lot of this is optional. The tune it needs, it's only making like 0.3 pounds of boost, which I can't have that. It needs more. The Barn Burner runs. This is the burnout car. This is the car that we road tripped all the way from Florida to Texas, I think. Right now, it was a car that was going... Did we do burn? I don't think we did do burnouts in it, but it was supposed to be in the burnout Roadkill live that was a few weeks ago as part of the 12-hour live stream. It never ran because we ran out of time, but yeah, the thing needs a lot of work. But the car runs. It has like a 632 cubic inch big block with a stage 5 blower, so that's all right. Blue Buck Beater. It runs. This is the diesel swapped Blue Buck. Needs brakes. I'm never going to find good brakes for the thing. That's why it says optional, but I want to take the air ride off of it. As cool as it is, I don't want it anymore. The Shaggin' Wagon mod update. It's a part of the WBMP mod pack where the wagon broke for the Blue Buck. But it runs. Mod update. That's all I need, but yeah. You haven't seen this one yet. It was in the channel trailer, if you want to go and watch. It did a 1-wheel peel. The Olds Impala, that's the red Impala that I raced against Sean 2 years ago. It still runs. It survived the burnout competition. It doesn't need anything as of right now. The General Schlees, that's the 68 Charger we did just recently. It needs traction bars, though. The 440 and the transmission combo in that car is great, but something that I'm seeing with it is when I was doing test burnouts with it, it wheel hops bad from the recent update. So it needs traction bars to prevent that. The Super B runs. This is a personal vehicle of mine, and it's finally going to get an episode because the Cornet mod was updated, and you can now put a 426 in it, which I want to swap that into the car and make it faster without nitrous. So if the motor can make up for what the car would be missing with nitrous, I'd be pretty happy. Mid-9s, it'll be a pretty good car. And potentially, there's a mod out there that adds like a bunch of aftermarket transmissions to all the cars and modded cars. I don't know if it works for the Cornet. I think I saw it. But potentially a sequential, or a dog box as they call them. Potentially. Don't promise it. Beater Covette, you see that in... Oh, you haven't seen that. That's an episode that hasn't made it yet. But, yeah, the Beater Covette, I haven't started it yet, but basically it's, there's no plans for it yet, but it needs a lot of work. Drift Marshall, that's the drift car that we built last year. Great car. Great car. It runs and drives perfectly now, but I want to put a blower on it. It needs a supercharger. More power. I feel like I'm pretty confident with drifting in Beam to where I can give it some more power now. The cop car, that thing runs like a top. It needs nothing. The Woody Wagon. This is the vehicle that we also road tripped all the way from Cali to Florida, going to 3 separate drag strips. And it runs. It's got the Barra inline 6 in it, the 4-liter inline 6. It needs tires, it needs brakes, because there's still the stock brakes on the car. But the mod update, it's part of WBMP. Some things broke in this current update. The taillights are missing. That's why you haven't seen the car in a bit, because it needs the taillights updated. The lowrider, you've yet to see that. You will. The ETK I Series, this is another leftover car. Here, let me do that. This is another leftover car from episode 4. You're going to see this thing soon. Oh, no. This is the wrong one. This is the car that we had the twin-turbo inline 6 in. Ah, yes. Doesn't have a motor. It needs a motor. It needs a lot of work. The car sat for over a year, I'm pretty sure. I think the last time I worked on it was 2019. So, be doing an episode on that soon. I got some plans for it. ETK Series. This is a leftover from the episode 4 where I did can ETKs tow, since they're such modern cars. We're going to be doing a revamp of this episode soon. That's why, I put these cars on the list, because they've just been sitting. It runs, brakes and tires it needs, but is it going to get them? Probably not. T-Bizzle, sadly broke. I just recently, before the BeamNG update, I went and fixed this car. And the transmission broke. I don't know why. The transmission no longer goes in the gear. But this thing it has the potential to be fucking awesome. So I hope the mod gets updated for T-Bizzle, because, as it is a tribute car, I hate to see it broken. The Rally Hawk, that's another one of the original 2 cars that I built in Beam, in the Roadkill style. Of course, over the years it has changed. It's a lifted Moonhawk. It does run, but at the end of episode 50, I tried to jump it, and it completely blew out the whole front suspension. So it needs suspension, brakes. I want to put a new motor in it, and it needs new tires, because they've been on the car for 2 years now. Crusher Moonhawk, broken. This was a car at the Burnout competition. Bodywork, because I pretty much slammed it into a wall, and a motor. I'm going to bring this one back pretty soon as well, because, it's a fan favorite. A lot of people like the one-wheel peels for a whole runway, and I think we need to accomplish that again. General Hawk, for once it runs and it needs nothing. Of course, this list can change over the next few months, but yeah, but for once, General Hawk, it doesn't need anything. Another very old vehicle, I think in episode 6, it was in a shootout with Sean versus the Sean Burst, which isn't on here as well. It's another missing car. Olds Delta 88 fire rescue car. We still have it. It's just sitting with the 454 in it. I don't know what I'm going to do with the car. I don't know if it runs. I don't know what it needs. It's been sitting in Texas at the storage facility, so yeah. The Olds Wagon. This is my personal wagon car, the 500 horsepower V8. It did burnouts, was wonderful, runs, doesn't need anything. Cars run like a top, very reliable vehicle. The JDM Dream, that is Pessima that we have. I do know that it does not run, but I have plans for this, and I'm not going to spoil them, because it's going to be a projects episode coming up really soon. It's going to be the next one you see. The Tony Fettuccine that was in the Christmas shootout, and it needs suspension. I want to put a different motor in it, and I want to see if I could put a radiator back in it, because Tony Fettuccine is going to overheat with the new motor combo I'm going to put in it. But it does run. Things perfectly fine. The only vehicle to survive that episode, other than the white Crown Vic, or the white Grand Marshal, which that I basically beat to death in the burnout competition. Little Herb, this is one of Sean's vehicles. Don't know if it runs. Don't know what it needs, because me and Sean haven't done an episode together in a year. So I'm starting to work out, how me and Sean can do episodes without him being here, and get some of these cars running. I'm going to work that out with him soon, and there's going to be cars added to this list. This is 46 vehicles, plus vehicles, by the way, because Sean has a few Jeeps, and There's a few vehicles not on this list. So, and there's going to be vehicles added because there's a few people I'm going to ask if they would like to do a collaborative episode with me, build a vehicle, and, we go and do something stupid with it. Of course, off location, but we'll see. But Little Herb, don't know what it needs, but it's on the list because it's Little Herb. Love the name. The Burnside, it runs. You never saw the episode on this, but it's another very old vehicle. Needs, I don't know. It's sitting in Texas. Test dummy. It runs, but the motor's basically blown up. We're going to be doing a motor swap on it. It needs some other work, but for now, this thing, you'll probably see it in a little bit, but it will be back. The bus runs, needs a lot. I have a lot of plans for the bus if it still works. I don't even know if it works in the current update. The ramp truck runs, needs a mod update. As you know, the white ramp truck that I picked up this year or last year. The recent BeamNG update was a big update for the D series. It broke the D series expansion mod by ARB12. It's or 2.8. I don't remember his name. Go and watch the episode. The link to the mod is in the description. Just don't expect it to work. But he says he's working on an update, so hopefully within a few months we'll have the ramp truck back. Muscle truck, it runs like a top. Needs skin. The skin that I use for the muscle truck, the taillights are bugged. I might reach out to some of these people and tell them, hey, mod's a little bugged. Can you fix it, please? Might do that. I don't know. But, The long bed. This is the truck we restored. Did we restore it last year? I think we restored it last year. Yeah, I think we did this over the summer. But it needs a new motor and a new transmission because the truck is gutless. It's so slow. So, yeah. This is going to be crazy. Rollback. This is a new vehicle. This was the ramp truck replacement. It needs a lot. New motor, paint, trans. I'm going to make it look like the ramp truck. So then, when I get my ramp truck back, I can send this one out to Texas, and it can be used there, and I can have my own little personal ramp truck. The trophy truck, broken, blew up the motor during the burnout competition. Motor, front suspension, brakes, rear, all the rear gear, the jack, the oil bottles, the radar and everything. Optional paint, and body parts. It's still missing a lot of stuff, but you're going to see this thing as soon as the gravel mega engine pack is updated, because the motor out of the farm truck is going to go into this because I'm not getting this back anytime soon. But the farm truck, you already know, it's broken. You never saw the episode on it, but it had a nice 5.1 liter twin turbo V8, and that's going to go in this thing and live on and do wheelies. But yeah, mod update, and it needs a new motor once the mod is updated. Jeepster, don't know if it runs, needs, don't know. All of Sean's Jeeps, don't know and don't know. Stubby Bob, doesn't know, I don't know if it runs. Needs, don't know. Automation Vic, you've yet to see it, but I'm going to be doing something crazy with that. Needs nothing, it runs. The Automation Race Car, that was the NASCAR that we still have left over from that little series. Needs nothing, and the 240Z doesn't need anything, still running like a top. So yeah, on this list is 48 vehicles pretty much. This is 50 plus cars that we have in the fleet. This is a lot of stuff. And my plans are, for episode 60, you're going to get two choices. I'm going to make a straw poll and put it in the description of this video. And I might record a little clip and put it at the beginning as well. But go to the straw poll and vote. You're going to have two options. And this is going to run for a few months. So if you're late to the video, and if the link is still in the description, you can still go and vote, because episode 60 is not going to be until June. Right now it's January. So January, February, March, April, May, June. So basically, 5 months. And I want to get all these vehicles running on top of, any new projects that we get and the few that are missing. Project Turbo 6 isn't in here and everything. So, Yeah. I want to get every single one of these vehicles running and do a 50 plus car grudge race at a drag strip or a runway. Don't know. But basically, this would prove out of all 50 of these cars, given that, Beam doesn't update and fuck me over in the end, if you want to see every project car that I have running at once, vote that. I will make it happen. We will get every vehicle running in the fleet at once. That's never happened before. And a lot of these vehicles do run. The only reason why I considered doing this is because a lot of stuff is in good shape right now. Not a lot is broken. Twisted Mayhem isn't on this list. I need to fix that as well. I just thought of that. But, yeah. If you want this to happen, go and vote it. If not, if you guys want a much more simple episode and not anything crazy, then you can vote for everything that has been in season 6. So far let's see, what vehicles have we done so far? I'm not going to show my YouTube channel. What has been in season 6 so far? This is a very good. Ooh, we have a comment. I'll answer that later. If YouTube ever loads. Hey, 350 subscribers. We got a Chevy 350. So far, out of the 5 main episodes that we've done so far, and this may include project vehicles, we've done the Dominator. We've done the twin blown Jeep. The lifted Barstow. The Barra swapped wagon, the Woody wagon. And the big block road trip in the barn burner. So it's 5 vehicles that we've done so far, a few vehicles that we've had on project, General Hawk, the General Sleaze, Twisted Mayhem, Project Turbo 6, the trophy truck. We've had a few vehicles on projects already as well, the test dummy. I would do a shootout with just, like 8 or 9 of the vehicles that are in, that are in season 6 between projects and the main episodes. I would do a shootout like that. But yeah, there's going to be a straw poll in the description. Go vote. And this is for everyone, like I know some people that I do know and that I do know right now may not know the most about cars, but both episodes are kind of just like, that ridiculous factor to see, what's the best vehicle that I've built. It's not really about like, knowing about cars. It's seeing the performance and what's going to break, because I half-ass a lot of this. So, but yeah, if you want to see, like, if you want to see either of those episode concepts, go and vote in the straw poll. 50 plus car shootout, or just a nice simple episode. So go vote in the description.